Ah, Nerevar, I was waiting for you to start the sermon. Let us continue with some houses that may be worthy of you. This time around I will talk about the, let's say, special ones. So let me speak about boats. I don't particularly like floating homes. Being on water usually leads to cold room temperatures, humidity, wet floors, and salty smells. But some others find it appealing, so just in case you are one of those, Nerevar, I shall give you some options. First is the Fairheart, a small Breton carrack, beautifully constructed with high-definition details. Even the bobbing of the sea waves won't distract you from appreciating it. Next is the Ocean Saber. This Redguard Bagla is not only incredibly well equipped, but also built in such a way that it respects interior nautical design perfectly, while displaying master craftsmanship in all of its details. Lastly, the mighty airship Aveza. By combining the Dwemer skyship and the airship from Moonpath to elsewhere, Aveza was born, featuring the best of both worlds. But the marvels don't end there. With Tissendel's interior, you can take this airship to new heights of design with fully remastered and high-quality interiors to make you feel like you are an actual sky buccaneer. And with the more ordinary-looking homes already done with, let me tell you about more themed ones. Surely, Nerevar, you don't play Skyrim to be an ordinary nobody. No, you play a specific race with particular aims and goals, so you'd of course need a home, a base of operations, that reflects it. If you are more traditional and want to play as a Nord, I have a few more local options for you. Starting with Rolegur, an Atmaran home. Nothing screams Nord better than a shack that's a literal boat flipped upside down, truly Atmaran style. A more contemporary option would be Viking's Longhouse, a design of old when a ship wasn't available to be flipped, and simply built a home in roughly the same shape. As a more modern home, this one has proper interior design, albeit still at a lack of proper facilities. But we can't talk about Nords and leave the ancient Nords out. With Seidr's Rest, Clever Man's Abode, and Nord Mage Home, you'll be able to not only enjoy the mystical and ancient Nord aesthetics by living in one of their ruins, but also having its whole interior apparently designed by the oldest of the Greybeards. Along a similar line of thought, Skyhaven Temple, interior overhaul and player home, completely transforms the insides of this forgotten temple and brings it closer to its Akaviri roots of old. But why be like everyone other Nord in Skyrim? With Esterah, the jewel of the Redguard, even in the frigid wasteland that is Skyrim, you'll be able to make or find your own little piece of something else, and in this case, it is Hammerfell. Similarly and coincidentally in the same area, there is Milandriel, a small piece of Valenwood. You see, Nerevar, Bosmer have some people called Greenspeakers, whose task is to grow their housing from the very trees into what they call pod homes. And let me tell you that this one was beautifully grown. And of course, Dunmer architecture does not fall behind at all. In fact, it is superior, of course, as demonstrated by Sarethi Manor, a Morrowind mansion with village. After solving a feud between House Redoran and House Hlalu, you'll be able to obtain this manor for yourself, Nerevar. It is located within its very own custom Dunmer village, accessible via a unique Dunmer-style ship. Or if you'd prefer to live inside a very traditional Telvanni shroom, I can offer you the small but seemingly advanced Tel Mos, a unique Telvanni home that mixes in some Dwemer technology for all of you Telvanni aspirants and Dwemer fanatics. If you'd rather have Dwemer technology prevail in your Dunmer design, however, there's Wizard's Well, a Redoran-style home surrounded by Dwemer machinery located in some dimensional rift, accessible via diverse wells in Skyrim. And made by the same creator as Tel Mos and Wizard's Well, I present to you AHO, Dwemer Ship. I've mentioned this one in my previous sermon on Dwemer, but I haven't shown you a lot of this spherical abode, so enjoy. And surely we can't leave the topic of Dwemer without talking about a more traditional Dwemer home. There are many, some include lengthy quest lines, but I have a personal inclination for Rkung-Zel, Dwemer Player Home. Sure, it could be considered a keep or a small castle rather than a house, but it superbly balances functional architecture and interior design. It's not partially in ruins nor overly decorated with Dwemer clutter, and it offers you everything you'd need. The last of our culturally themed homes is Dol Khazun, Mountain Stronghold Reborn. This remastered mod is a medium-sized orcish stronghold nestled in the mountains just east of North Brittleshin Pass. It extends inside the mountain and has everything orcs would like. Wall-less shacks, wooden spikes and bones, lots of bones. Now, if you'd rather feel like a farm tool that hasn't seen civilization for decades or like role-playing a Forsworn, there's Shurrashi's Den, a tribal-styled player home located within a cave. I'd like to make a little mention about hidden hideouts of Skyrim. This isn't actually a real player home mod, since all you can do in them is cook on a campfire and sleep, but they fit incredibly well if you play with hardcore survival mods like Frostfall. Trust me when I tell you that a little cave can and will save you from a blizzard, and you will need that campfire to not die from hypothermia. And Nerevar, we have reached the point of no return. If none of the homes I have shown you satisfy your tastes, I can offer you the special ones. Let us begin slowly and increase their weirdness as we go. If you feel like becoming the kin of Molag Bal, surely you'd want a fitting vampire-themed home, yes? The ancient Mausoleum will fill this Gothic requirement while providing you all the facilities and commodities any normal abode could offer you. Now, if you prefer to be an active hunter in the night, it will disappoint you the lack of options. You'll have to eat your meal in peace and find yourself forced to act like a lowly thief to sneak into homes and bite your prey in their sleep. Is this how you'd honor the Sixth House and the Tribe Unmourned? Unique vampire dens offer you several locations where you can do your vampiric activities in the peace of your own bloody den, no matter where you go. Continuing on the Gothic theme, there's Clockwork. You might be wondering why this wasn't together with the Dwemer homes, and that is a fantastic question, Nerevar. You see, while this manor uses Dwemer technology, it is far from being even related to them. I won't bore you with endless lore, as we are here only to enjoy the views and help you select your potential home. But if you must know, some rich Breton merchant built it about 200 years ago with the style of that time while being heavily inspired by the Dwemer. It is up to you to find out what happened. Let's turn it up a notch, yes? With so many planes of Oblivion out there, it would be weird to not have a home in one of them, don't you think? In KxK Apocrypha Home, you can enjoy your time in the plane of that nerd Hermaeus Mora, a 100% chance of clouds and mists today and tomorrow and every day after. Now related to a lesser kind of Daedric prince, we have Providence and Pestilence. This mod offers you a journey into Peryite's pits and earn the Taskmaster's blessing as well as an otherworldly lair to call your home. And well, the planes of Oblivion are not all taken. Many are just smaller pseudo-planes and pocket planes free for the taking to the magically adept. Oblivion Planemaster allows you to create your own plane of Oblivion and teleport in and out of it at any moment. It also lets you trap souls there and summon Dremora to do deals. And of course you can do all sorts of soul and Daedric shenanigans. Trapping souls in your plane, using it instead of soul gems or consuming them to improve your plane and more. If you don't feel like going to another plane related to a Daedric prince of your choice, you can always just stay in Skyrim and still do it. Krovaxis in this case is the ruins of an ancient temple dedicated to Molag Bal, one which you can claim as your own. And coming from the same creator is Zulfardin. Located deep beneath the College of Winterhold, it was once a temple dedicated to the worship of Namira. Ah, Aki's Tower, a walking tower. Yes, this home stands on a chunk of rocks with giant skeleton legs. Leaving that aside, its insides are quite nice, cozy, and give a very nice feeling of magic as well as a touch of Dunmer. And finally, Itsy Tower, by the same creator, is a home built on the back of a gargantuan mud crab. But can we do even weirder? Yes, we can, Nerevar, along the lines of Undeath is Skyramas. Where did this even come from? And we have finally and thankfully reached the end of our sermon. Nerevar, I hope with this sermon you were able to find an abode worthy of your ownership. As always, honor the Sixth House and the Tribe Unmourned by rising your thumbs, subscribing to my sermons, and inscribing your comments in the parchment below. I thank my Patreons Conarunda, Tonya Davis, Unoriginal Username, Janelle Rambo, Silky Johnson, and Vadim C.